cloud. Okay, everyone. Welcome to the, okay, why is this? Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Welcome to the November 2nd iteration of the MicroProfile kind of live hangout. This is actually the technical meeting. This is the off week meeting, but we're going to be using it for talking about the program plan. Right, maybe the budget as well, but we'll see here. And I have a couple of other items as well that I kind of want to talk about. And we'll see what we can get to. So let me share the screen. Sorry, share screen, find the right browser. And there we go. Okay, so why don't we maybe do a quick update, Emily, on just MicroProfile 5 to see where we are on the compatible implementation, and then we'll get into the program.
Yeah, so it's 5 micro. I sent like an email to the mailing list Google group email, and we have created compatible implementation for 5 MicroProfile specs: config, metrics, fault tolerance, health, and JWT. And 4 of them have been, put on the ballot for the working group to vote. Please vote as soon as possible. And then is like the other remaining spec JWT. Hopefully, like Roberto or Sergey can go ahead to do the final release staging. And Teddy from IBM already created a compatible implementation. And for the rest 3 spec is the REST client, Open API, and Open Tracing will be in the next Open Liberty beta. Also is everything, all the TCK has been passed. So that beta in the 22.001-beta will be out at the end of November. So we will be able to stage that 3 release together with MicroProfile 5.0 together. So at the end of November. So hopefully it's maybe if we can vote, as soon as possible, and maybe it's like a second week or even at the end of first week of December, we could even get the MicroProfile 5.0 released. So that's a quick status. Basically, all the development has been done. So it's just waiting for the driver to be out.
Okay, if you could do me a favor and just update the notes on that, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And I am going to scroll down to where I think we left off at. I think we finished the technical goals.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
One remark for the last point on the second page. The things listed on the sub-bullet points are mainly platform related, not infrastructure related. So we should add improve alignment with platform and infrastructure for better end user experience. Because runtimes, MicroProfile itself is Java is a platform technology, not infrastructure. Only the cloud part contains infrastructure. Containers, orchestrators. Containers maybe, orchestrators is a platform technology too.
Any other thoughts? 3, 2, 1. Okay. Oops, sorry. All right. I think my camera just turned off. Oh, I heard something there. Okay. Then I think what we're going to do after we hopefully finish off these slides is go back and address the comments on the prior slides to see if we can kind of finish this off and start a vote. Probably via email. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next slide. Is Rudy here? Don't think Rudy's here. All right, my thoughts here is a lot of this. So Rudy and I kind of led this, but as Rudy and I kind of looked at this, it was pretty much covered by other slides, with one exception, which was continue the growing pains discussion. This is a historical discussion that was getting around the fact that we had a lot of specs and we're trying to figure out, should we organize them in some way? Should we even have a platform spec? You know, it was a pretty broad, big thinking kind of discussion. I don't know if we still need to have this discussion or not, or if we just kind of see how 2022 plays out in terms of what we're going to be doing with, you know, some of these other specs, you know, whether it's open tracing, metrics, etc.
I think
I don't know if there's other thoughts about that.
yeah, I think we still need to look at the individual standalone specs, such as like context propagation. I think is pretty much maybe is going to move to Jakarta. And then we need to reassess the like reactive stream operators, like to see the what kind of things we need to do with the spec. Like a GraphQL, maybe we should move back to the platform release. I think we should look at the standalone specs.
Should that be under technical goals? think?
Yeah, good point. I think it's a good idea to put in the technical goals.
So if we take a look at this, I'm just putting it on this slide because it kind of has other specific specs listed. Idea around wording.
Evaluate standalone specifications to see whether they should go to like platform release or Jakarta. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I have an item.
Yeah, Paul.
When the time's appropriate. It kind of fits here, but maybe it doesn't. Is Jakarta specification projects have spec pages, you know, albeit there is just one project here. Does it make sense for MicroProfile to also have spec pages in the way that Jakarta does?
I thought we had spec pages, although I don't know if it's the way Jakarta does. I haven't looked at that.
Yeah, it may be. It may not be a good question. That's, and Ed is probably better. Ed Bratt's probably better. Here is in good position to comment on whether or not my point is reasonable or not.
I mean, I guess I was looking for a sort of a normative repository that we can, you know, I think this points to GitHub repositories, at least. So something that's, you know, will lead a browser to, here's the latest spec, here are the previous adopted specs, you know, here's all the artifacts that are associated with it.
I think that's one of the items we discussed probably 3 weeks ago, too, that we want to have that going forward for each of the specs, a concise list of what's in and also implementers, but I may be wrong.
Actually, it's, this is a kind of there is a marketing, I think, repo issue regarding creators one page to list all the specs. So it's so I think it's really good to have a spec page to list all the spec and the versions and etc. I think it's based on some feedback from the users and says they want to find one central location to find all the specs.
So I I think it's a good idea, actually. Just pointing to GitHub pages is kind of goes from zero to detail very quickly. And having something a little bit higher about, I like the idea of, of contributors, links to the actual spec itself. I'd have to go back and compare to the Jakarta ones. So to me, that would belong on the infrastructure website goals.
Yeah,
As opposed to the technical goals. But I think it's a good idea. I don't know if there's any other comments on this. In fact, I think what I'm going to do here is maybe I'll individual component specification pages.
Yes.
Is that what this basically is?
Yes, I think that's the one. I recall we talked about that some 3 weeks ago or so.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, there.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Okay, I think we got that. So Emily, what you were thinking is, let's see. Consider, okay. I think for now, I am going to remove, let's see, this one here. I think this is okay. But I think thinking about redefining the platform and stuff, I don't know if this is a 2022 goal. It might be a 2023 goal once we figure out how things kind of flush out in 2022.
Yeah, I agree. I think we can delete this one since you moved the second bullet point to the previous page.
Okay, sorry, I'm trying to figure out here. Okay. So I'm going to remove this one. Need to look at each general inspect to see whether or not they should be,
I think
to see where they should be placed, but we already kind of covered this one.
yeah. I think you already can delete the whole thing, I think.
Okay. Well, that would kind of get rid of this. There's nothing left.
Yeah.
Or well, we just talked about
The last point.
This.
That's an ongoing discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, we moved that to the technical goals, so we can remove it here, I guess.
And that's kind of what happened with this entire thing throughout the years. It turns out that most of these are covered in other areas. Sorry, let's see, merge into merge. This really should be merge. Well, where else do we have this listed?
So John, you already put in the additional goal. I thought you put in the additional goal. Oh no!
Well, I thought someone mentioned that this was already listed somewhere else.
I thought you added one bullet point on the technical goals, right?
Oh yeah, but that was just the spec page. Oh no, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
So if you add a remain standalone or join platform or Jakarta thing, and then you can get rid of the whole thing.
Okay, let's go back to this.
Yeah, or just the or join platform spec or Jakarta, like a context propagation, maybe it's just a go to Jakarta.
So I'm going to put down, tell you what. Okay, I'm going to do it a little bit differently here. Remain standalone example graph. Oh, sorry. Reactive. That's you know what? I don't think I just noticed I don't think I gave anybody admin rights so that they can approve other people joining. So Emily, I'm gonna make you co-host. I just realized I'm typing away, and I think Amelia and David might be joining at some point, so I just don't want to miss them. Okay,
Okay.
back to this. Join platform expect example.
Maybe graph
Concurrency.
QL. No.
Oh,
graph
no.
QL.
Sorry, I got this wrong. Jakarta's that one, yeah. GraphQL.
Then move to
All right.
Jakarta. Maybe the context propagation.
Yeah, context prop. There we go. Okay.
Is there a, I forget, is there a goal that for moving all the ancillary specs to the Jakarta namespace?
This here. Oh, that's assets. That's. I thought we had. Hold on.
I mean, if it's there, great. I just want to make sure it's there.
Yeah, I thought we had that. Sorry, I'm looking. Well, we were kind of assuming that MicroProfile 5, we would accomplish that this year. And then we added, sorry, now I need to find it, for everything like on the website, right? All the various assets that we have, and make sure like, you know, any white papers or information on the website was moved to the Jakarta namespace, right? That's relevant to the MicroProfile 5. Is that what you're asking?
Well, so like LRA, for example, is not, it's not part of the, you know, the core set of specs. So
it's not part of the platforms.
Right. What will happen, and there are a few other specs in that category.
Oh yeah.
This is a very good point, actually.
Yeah. So in the overall kind of the MicroProfile Jakarta EE91 alignment, I create all individual issues for the standalone spec. Context propagation is going to be released. So I know Nathan Rowe from IBM is driving that, and he got the implementation and etc. I think the other specs are still discussing. I think it's good to add like maybe the technical goal, say, is to get all the standalone spec to adopt to align with the Jakarta 9.1, Jakarta E 9.1.
So just to make sure I understand this, so the namespace of those specs is org.eclipse.microprofile, but they reference other APIs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what
It's a dependency relationship.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So I think that's a
And
good
you can
point.
add 2 bullet points on two sub bullet points on the top for the MicroProfile platform specs and the standalone specs.
Not the platform spec, because it's going to platform spec is been done roughly and going to be released in December. Maybe just say standalone specs.
Yeah.
No, I think this is actually a different top level bullet point.
How about
Update.
how about in the standalone spec? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, update
To align with the
relevant dependencies. I'm just gonna type this out and we can work on wording. These two asterisk namespace. Okay, now we can figure out the wording.
You want to say Jakarta namespace or conform with MicroProfile 5 platform?
I would say align with Jakarta EE 9.1. So the previous review.
It's actually good too.
Either way.
Standalone specs. Or should we say MicroProfile 5.0 platform?
I think align with the Jakarta EE 9.1 is clear enough. Jakarta EE, John.
Yes. There we go. Okay.
Before we forget that, 1E of examples, the last bullet point on the page you cannot see correctly now, is a big one. It should be lowercase.
Yeah, I thought there was a way to fit. Text fitting, here we go. Oh, that didn't work. Like I thought. Oh, here we go. Shrink text on overflow, resize shape to fit text. No, there we go. All right. It's like there was never a problem. Okay.
And the
All right, that
E
looks good.
should be lowercase from example on the last line.
Okay. There we go. All right. I'm going to scroll back down here to additional goals.
So you can delete the first one now.
Yeah. Well, let's see now. Now this sub bullet doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, I would delete the whole thing.
Yeah, me too. I don't think we need to talk about. Oh, I hate it when this happens. There we go. Okay. This is this slide? No, we've got one more slide after this. I didn't want to specifically address the comments yet. I was hoping just to kind of go get all the slides done, then go back through and address comments. Just let me double check to see if they texted. No. Okay, next one. All right. Well, actually, before we even do that, I didn't even look to see if there's comments. Yeah, I think we already have this one in the technical goals. I think that's basically what this is. Or we could add this to technical goals. I thought we had one in there. Okay.
If you have some specific goals, you could add a more general one if you want.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe I'll do that here because I'm really trying to drop this slide because it's just very redundant. The effort. So if we go back to this one again, sorry, I should have did a copy and paste because I think the wording is fine. Encourage innovation, new specifications. And let me get rid of the bold because it doesn't fit kind of the format of this slide. Oh, figures. There we go. All right.
Also, you can get rid of the MicroProfile compatibility because we also resolved that.
Oh, well, we haven't entirely resolved it yet, but we know it's going to be resolved this year one way or the other.
Oh, you mean if it's a logo and etc. Yeah, that's true. I'm not commenting about TCK. Okay.
There are ongoing
that's
topics,
true.
Regarding compatibility of standalone specs.
Oh, true. Okay. I think maybe it's put in the technical goal as well. I think I agree. I think we should get rid of the additional things because it fall into the cracks.
Okay, this is where we talk about specification with reach a decision on instead of, okay, I don't want to. I'm going to pause on this one because it looks like the next slide covers this a bit as well. And then we have streamline the release process. Okay. Let's come through with those two maybe after the next iteration when we try to resolve comments. All right, specification process. Who owned this one? Who's the lead?
I think maybe me. Can't remember.
Might have been you. Yeah, Emily, Edwin, and Roberto. There we go,
Yeah.
right there. All right, let's go back to the top here. Sorry about that.
Something that you might want to, well, something that you probably need to do, whether or not you reflect it here, is, I guess, optional. There is a new version of the EFSP 1.3, the Eclipse Foundation specification process, that was just approved by the board in October. At some point, it would likely make sense to review it relative to the MFSP and determine if any reconciliation or changes are required. I mean, you're fine to operate under your existing MFSP.
Is it MPSP?
MPSP, thank you very much.
Yeah. What's the right wording here? And evaluate.
Reconcile, or yeah.
Yeah. I like the right word. And reconcile with MPSP. Are we at 1.0 or 1.1 offhand? Anyone remember? I'll just leave it that way for now. Because I don't remember what version we're on offhand. Okay. All right.
1.0.
Thank you. Wasn't sure if we had an incremental update. All right. All right. I think this is actually the last slide. Maybe we'll just start addressing comments here and then float back to slide 1 again, since we're on this slide. Amelia says, and Kevin agree that these two are completed. Solidifying document requirements for certification requests, address compatible implementation plan for ballots. I think we've got those. Any comments? Any problems if I delete these?
Yeah, but what about when we extend the compatibility from platform to single spec? Then we need new documents.
I don't think I think these apply to specs in general, not just the platform spec. Is that true? Currently?
Currently,
I think for the certification, that's across the board. Only one thing is different is about a logo. But at the moment, we are not sure whether we have a logo. But the logo is only applicable for the platform spec. You won't have an individual logo for the if you pass the individual spec and etc.
Yeah. Depending on that item, that's correct. We're going to start out with platform and then maybe in 2022 evaluate bringing it down to individual standalone specs, but or any individual spec is a better way of saying it. To your point, but if we don't have a compatibility logo, then yeah, this kind of isn't an issue at all.
So do we have an item about the logo? Is it checked somewhere? The compatibility process, right?
Yeah, so we were going to try to resolve that. So I do have, by the way, and maybe I'll just point this out right now. I do have a bullet here for everyone to review the trademark and compatibility program thread, right? Not that we have to discuss it here, which is why, because I don't know if we'll have time. This isn't really a steering committee call per se. Not everyone is on this call. just a note to go take a look at that thread and comment on it. Right, about just dropping the trademark and compatibility program and just going with passing the TCK and having a a web page that just lists implementations that pass the TCK. That's what the thread is about, right? So take a look at that thread, but it does tie into this topic, right? I find myself in a bit of a cart before the horse problem here, where how do we put anything in here about trademarks compatibility if we haven't nailed down what we're going to do in that other thread, right, as it relates. And we don't have a lot of time.
Right. I'm wondering, John, just add maybe one bullet is in trademark and the compatibility program. I think hopefully that be resolved this year. If it is, so be it, and we will do a complete straight away next year. But at least if we haven't get resolved, and then next year we won't forget about it.
So how do we word that?
So I would say like trademark and compatibility resolve. Yeah, understanding trademark and resolve. Trademark and compatibility.
Logo.
Yeah. In this case, maybe we can get rid of the solid if.
Well, here we go. Yeah, here's an idea. And this covered in another slide as well. And this may not belong on this slide, by the way. Not compatible. For lack of a better word here off the top of my head. No. There, that kind of covers both. Now what I want to do a quick double check is, okay, we only have 2 instances of that. Logo, no, and
Let me know if it'd be helpful for me to demonstrate what I believe the 2 directions are.
yeah, I could be wrong. I think I understand the 2 directions.
Okay.
I just don't. I'm trying to word it properly in this in this bullet, I guess, because we are going to have to resolve something, right, about how to deal with either compatibility or passing the TCK page.
Yeah, and you may want to say compatibility, logo, and program issues, because the logo is part and parcel with the program, like the bullet above. Okay. Oh, there you go. Okay.
There. Oops, I didn't mean to say and logo. Oh yeah, and logo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay. So I think that's valid. In some way. Now the question is, where does this belong? It doesn't feel like a specification process.
No, it's
item.
It's kind of like, it's definitely a marketing topic.
Yeah. All right. So let me delete that there, and I'll paste it in marketing activities.
I mean, and ideally, you'd resolve this before 2022.
Yeah, and that's why I put down resolve outstanding, just in case, right?
Yeah,
it does
no,
have to be
I
resolved.
get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just double checking here that we don't have it in the current wording, and I don't think we do with a quick perusal there. So let's do another text fitting and trim text on overflow. There we go. And there goes my camera again. Okay.
There's an additional bracelet at the And the bullet points are not aligned.
Yeah, I here, let me try this. Oh, it's still not aligned, is it? Oh, no, it's aligned. So let me try this and see if it works.
Of the copy and paste, right?
Oh, come on, I can't just. Nothing goes as simple as it should. Oh, come
Maybe you can remove. Also,
Withstanding trade mark and compatibility. Logo. There, problem solved. Let's see. All right, there we go.
and there's a
I'll tell you what,
additional
Jan,
bracelet.
you're like the detail-oriented reviewer here. This is awesome. Okay, sorry, what else?
There's on the fourth bullet point on the end of the sentence. There's an additional
Yes.
bracelet.
Okay. There we go. All right. We go back to specification process. Going back to these, are these, so we already discussed this one has been resolved.
Yeah, I think you can delete them.
I think they've both been resolved.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. And I actually agree with you on this one. Let's see, future decision on status of specification with TCK and compatible implementation, marketing only document. So I think we have resolved this one in keeping the platform spec. Well, we've already created a platform spec. It's not a marketing only document, so that problem has been resolved.
Yeah, so that's is the kind of for the MicroProfile for the marketing
Yeah.
only.
This has absolutely been resolved.
So that's good. We delete this one, just have a one kind of top level one.
Okay.
And should we add here the point to enhance? No, sorry. Forget that.
Okay. I'm going to slide back to slide 3 and sorry, I'm going to start going through and see if we can address any comments. Understanding that some people aren't on this call that are normally here. Let's see here, 11:43. Let me do actually, I want to, sorry, there's a couple other things I wanted to see if I could tackle on this call. No, maybe not. We could do these all online, I think. Okay, sorry about that. So Kevin says here, include the list of work implementation with each MicroProfile release that can be used to try the new capabilities of that MicroProfile released. So including examples. So we don't really have a compatibility page per release, do we? Compatible implementation per release. So this ties into what we just talked about, having a compatible implementation page, but it sounds like that should be much more detail oriented by release, I guess.
I mean, I think it ties back into this spec one that we were just talking about. So have one page per release, what specs are included, etc. And then it can also list the implementations. I think that is a perfect fit.
All right, so let's see here. Complete the transfer to the slides, Kevin. Go completed. I guess she might have added something like this somewhere. So it was covered. Sorry, I'm looking for the right slide here. Where did we put it? Was it marketing slides? Yeah, right here. Okay. This was added. So I'm going to just add a comment for
No,
Kevin and say this item was added to the marketing was added via the bottom bullet.
it's also on slide 6, the second bullet, and then the first sub bullet. That's the related one.
Okay. Do we have a duplication here? Let's look at this.
Well, I would consider having that at least in one page. It is marketing, of course, but it's
I got that wrong.
I think this would serve dual purpose.
Okay. Slide 6 is website infrastructure goals.
And then second bullet or second
All
bullet.
right. Second bullet. So should we modify? We could either modify this one because I don't want to have it duplicated in 2 places. We could either modify this one. I think this is a complete duplication, actually, with slide 6. I do think this is probably more of a marketing activity.
Yeah, it's not exactly a duplication. So this one really ties it up from the specifications. And the other
What if I
one,
do this? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, I think there's probably 2 ways of addressing that. Here it's really the list of specifications and making sure that that's understood which release has what, and then lists the implementations. I mean, yeah, it's similar.
Okay, so I'm going to try something here. I'm going to delete that. Let's come back here. Include a list of working implementations with each MicroProfile release that can be used to try the new capabilities. What if we did this? Made that a sub bullet. That's 16.5.
Yes, yeah, that's good this way.
There you go. Okay, I'm going to say resolved.
For the details, there is a bigger bullet point on the second one. That one is bigger than the others for some reason.
The
Which
dot
one is?
itself.
Oh, the dot is?
itself.
Was that Jan again?
Yes.
There we go. And I think so. I'm going to resolve that one.
I think that can
Empower
be
the community. Sorry.
Yeah, you can. I think just
Resolve
mark
this
it as
one.
done. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is just kind of additional detail. I don't think this really adds to the bullet itself in the context of the slide, but let's resolve that. Next, continue with our open meetings, open communications, and meeting recording process. In general, we want to keep this chart, but examine each of these goals and determine which one should be pursued in 2022. Might request some assistance from marketing and community, possibly move chart closer to marketing charts. Chart. Does he mean slide? What does he mean? Chart.
Yes, slide.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
So it is. I don't know if this is. I think I'm going to disagree with this one being in the marketing, because I really do think this is a community outreach, right? To try and get more people to join.
Yeah, and we also decided that it's important to keep an explicit community outreach slide as opposed to merge that into other slides.
Yeah. How to measure, how to track results. I think that's a valid question. Sorry. Wow, this is all under just this one bullet. So maybe a sub bullet here is, I actually think this is a good idea. Measure, so what I'm looking for is results, but KPIs, create and track KPIs, key performance indicators. No. All right, what are you laughing at? Did I do something wrong?
Oh, no, so now for you, it's about that. Did you come up with these KPIs? So that's why you're manager.
Yeah, no. Well, someone's got to create them. It doesn't say John creates. Let's see
No,
here.
And additionally, my daughter is super loud listening to other.
I gotcha. Decided that this measurement comment should stand on its own, which we just did. Okay, so I'm going to mark this as resolved. Continue to encourage participation across the wider community via mailing list, Google group, and tweets. Heiko, also figure out how to reach other communities outside the already no MicroProfile bubble.
Yeah, basically the tweets go into our own echo chamber, and we need to make sure that we escape from it.
So do we have anything in here about growing the community?
I think it is somewhere in there in the marketing
We have
slide.
members. Let's look for grow. Yeah, maintain and grow community participation in marketing. Should this be simply maintain and grow community participation? Period. I'm going to ask this and see if Amelia can reply, since this is a marketing, or anybody in the marketing community can reply. There we go. Can we generalize this to grow community and community participation? And I will reach out to Amelia and the market. I'll post something to the marketing email alias on this. And I think what I'm going to do here is a requested update to strategic goals slide. Okay. Create, increase, well, already had participation, I guess. So let me do this.
Yes.
Man, that's the problem with not reading all of the bullets at once. Handling comments one
Yeah,
at a
but
time.
I think it's really important to keep this community outreach goals and not just merge that in strategic goals, and then it goes like, hey, let's just create a nice brochure because hey, that's strategic and marketing, and then forget about these. I mean, these are probably a bit details or more specific ones, but I think it's important to really list that community focus.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do this here real quick. Delete.
I mean, the comment on this slide on the strategic one is definitely right, but I would not want to remove it over here in the community outreach side.
Yeah, I agree. That's, yeah, I just went and undid that particular one. And we got about 5 minutes left. So I was just doing a quick time check. Create
Okay, I have to drop. See you soon. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Heiko.
Bye.
So I'm gonna delete this one. Say, there we go. I'm gonna resolve that. Make sure that the process is very well documented, including gotchas. Okay, I think that's. I agree with it, but it's probably too detailed for the slides.
So she's suggesting replace Spanish with other languages, I guess.
Yeah, or trying to generalize it, but I think that this is oddly, this feels like tell you what. I kind of like having this is one of those ones where I think being specific might be good because I think if we leave it wide open, well, I don't know. It just seems like it's a very broad, too broad a goal.
Change to EG.
Yeah, okay. I like that. By the way, I never figure out EX versus EG. Half of them say EX and
example versus example gratis. It's just, you know,
yeah.
Do you want to be, you can say EX, that's fine.
Well, just to be consistent, I don't know. Okay.
For example.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm going to delete this empty one because we moved something. Okay, rewrite. Technical content available on website as a whole. Rewrite as update the project page and include examples. MP has the most amazing technical content produced by microprofilers under its blog. Creation of content is not an issue. I kind of like leaving it more broad here because there's more than just a blog, I guess, that she's saying, and there's more than just the projects page. I don't know what others think. By the way, I'm just giving my comments as I go. I don't know what others think about this before
yeah, I think the keep the what you have here is fine. The blog, blog is one of the technical content. There's others like books, like some other videos.
we got people dropping now, I think, here. And I do have a hard stop because I have another call. Okay. And I apologize. I do have a hard stop at the top of the hour here. So if it's okay with everyone, I'm going to go ahead and end the call. Does that sound okay? And we'll have to deal with the rest of this online and hopefully have a vote in the working group email alias. Sound okay?
Yep. Great. Thank you.
All right. Sorry, Rudy. We're just ending. I sent out an email to the to the Google group realizing that you guys had a daylight savings change and we didn't in the US.
And
So-
the calendar is not updated, the Google calendar.
Well, that's
It
weird.
it shows a wrong timing in my time zone.
Oh, it does. Yeah. So that is weird because I would think if it changed for us, it would
Mhm.
have changed for you too.
It says 8 o'clock my time, which is now.
Well, first of all,
Anyway.
sincere apologies for bad time zone math. I'm notoriously bad at time zone math, but this is recorded. All we did is we went through and tried to update the slides. And I think what I'm going to do is post an email or respond maybe to one of the existing Google group emails, just pointing to a diff, right? The Google history, a diff of what we've changed so people can see it. So sorry about that.
No, okay, no
And
problem.
in the good news, I think next time around in the spring, we're going to try and adjust our time in the US, right? Where you guys can keep your time in EMEA, and that way we can get confused and you'll be at the right
Yeah,
time.
there are talks about that we don't change time, the summer and winter time anymore in Europe. So it will be even a greater mess.
Oh, geez. Okay. All right. I sincere apologies. I have to drop
Nope,
everyone.
no problem.
All right. Thanks. Next week, same bat time, same bat channel, live hangout.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.